All right, and welcome to the IU Hoops halftime report. Your Indiana Hoosiers currently up 33-29 over the Wisconsin Badgers. A nice end to the half there for Indiana as the Hoosiers, really did a lot of nice things in this first half. Obviously, to be leading Wisconsin 33-29, and I thought especially the defense that they played over the final really 13, 14 minutes. I'll tell you, where this game turned is it was 12-12. And Deron Davis and Evan Fitzner came in the game. Wisconsin had that 5-point possession because Fitzner, just let his man cut right in front of him, ends up fouling in. Deron ends up, not being able to secure a rebound. They make a three. Those two guys went out. They didn't play very long. Deron was in there for a minute. Fitzner was in there for 2 minutes. And then Race Thompson got in the game. He ends up playing 6 minutes. And I really thought that's where the game turned. Because, Indiana's defense tightened up and Race Thompson really did a nice job on Ethan Happ. I mean, he fought through some screens, bodied up, and, just didn't allow Happ to set up where he likes to set up and just made shots tougher on him. Because Happ, you remember how the first half started. Happ was just scoring right over Juwan Morgan almost every time. And, Juwan's just not quite tall enough to be able to really put up a lot of resistance against Happ, which is why it would have been nice if Deron would have been able to be out there against him. But I thought Race really played some nice minutes. And so after that 17-12 lead by Wisconsin, they missed, I think, 10, 11 straight shots. And we didn't do a lot on offense, but there was a possession when it was 17-12, and Juwan got a rebound and was just like, screw this, and just took it himself. And it was a real awkward drive, but he got fouled. He made a free throw. A couple possessions later, Devontae Green hits a three. Then he throws it inside to Juwan. And so instead of that 5-point run by Wisconsin being able to balloon into a bigger run, we settled in with our defense, made enough plays on offense to get back in the lead. And then Romeo really took over, and he scored, I think, 7 straight points, did it, in different ways. He had that nice little step back. He had a little drive into the basket, made a three-pointer, and the three-pointer, really showed his recognition, as he, told Al Durham to go down to the corner so that he could get the ball and then get it back to Romeo, because I think he saw that he was going to have an open three. So Romeo doing a nice job there. I don't think he started out the game very well. It just seemed like he wasn't quite in it, was getting out tough, had a ball just taken away from him. But once he came back in after sitting on the bench, he had a different mindset, and that was great to see. Really nice to see him, kind of get himself back going again within the game. Juwan struggling a little bit to get going offensively. He's out there shooting threes. He's 0 for 3 again. That three-point shot just isn't coming. He has got to get inside. He's doing a nice job on the glass with 10 rebounds, has 3 offensive rebounds, 3 assists. I think defensively, he's been really good. He wasn't able to put up a big, a lot of resistance against Happ playing him one-on-one, but when he's had Race Thompson out there, and he's been allowed to, not just have to be one-on-one on Happ. I think he's rotated really well and has just made a lot of really good reads in the defense. I tell you, there was a possession there. I think it was when it was 28-25. It's the clubhouse leader for banner moment right now. But after Rob hit that three to make it 28-25, we just had a beautiful defensive possession. I was talking with Ben Ladner on Basketball 201 this morning. How there's 2 types of defensive possessions. There's the one where the offense just doesn't get anything they want. No one has to help, no one has to rotate, and you just shut down everything completely. And there's the other kind of possession where the offense gains an advantage at a certain point. Maybe they get it in the post where they want to, or you decide to double, which makes you rotate. How do you deal with those kinds of situations? And in this case, they sent a little double on Happ, and it looked like Wisconsin was going to get an open three at some point, but they kept throwing it around, and we kept rotating. And there was always an Indiana guy right there. It ends up leading to a Juwan steal. Then we run the floor. Al Durham hits a three. Boom, 31-25. And then a possession later, Justin Smith has that little spin move and scores. And by the way, he's been much more under control off the dribble today. No turnovers. He's taken it off the dribble a few times. He's been much better today than what we've seen recently, and obviously it's been nice to see Al Durham step up and score 9 points, hitting 3 threes. So, look, a big reason why Indiana is winning this game right now, 6 of 14 from downtown. It's amazing. You make some shots, everything looks better, but the defense, and holding Wisconsin to under 30 points, the defense after a little bit of a slow start because Happ really took it to them, has been much better. They've got to figure out a way, obviously, to defend Iverson. He's got 3 offensive rebounds. He's a much bigger, older, more physical guy than Romeo, so that's a tough matchup for Romeo if Iverson's going to take him down on the block, which he's done a couple of times and has made a couple of shots. So a lot of good things from Indiana there in the first half. Wisconsin 1 of 9 from downtown, and I think a big part of that is because, Indiana is not giving them the kind of looks they want. They're forcing rush shots when they do get them. Just based on the season numbers, Wisconsin, one of the better three-point shooting teams and three-point defense teams, you would assume that those three-point numbers will reverse in the second half. Obviously, if they don't, it's going to be huge in favor of Indiana. And the other thing that Indiana is going to need to do, I think, is get to the free throw line. And so really the thing I'm a little bit worried about, you make a bunch of threes like that for a team like Indiana, you can't fall in love with it. Your 6 threes are in your back pocket. That's great. Take them when you're open. Al is hot. Romeo hit one. That's fine. Those guys take them when you're open. But Juwan, get inside. Don't settle for threes. Now that we've got the lead, we've hit those threes. Let's attack. They're going to at least be paying a little bit more attention to our outside shooting now. So let's attack, get inside, get fouled. Let's start winning this game from the free throw line, because I just don't know how sustainable hitting a bunch of threes is. Now, maybe this is just a game where we're going to hit 12 threes and we're going to win, and that would be awesome. But I just worry a little bit when you have a team that isn't a good three-point shooting team, when you make a bunch of them in the first half, don't fall in love with it. And Romeo took that step-back 3 there late in the first half. That's kind of a sign of it, where it would have been better to, drive in, maybe get a little mid-range shot or go all the way to the basket. So, keys to the second half, take the threes that are open, but don't fall too much in love with them. Defensively, let's get some more minutes out there with Race Thompson. It was really nice to see him play. And I think stick with a tight rotation. Deron Davis was sick. Fitzner didn't really look ready to play. Let's go with the 7 guys that played the majority of the half, including Devontae Green, although if his decision-making doesn't get better and you don't need to sub out Al or Rob, then, ride those guys. I mean, whatever it takes, we've got to get a win. And when you're in a position like this, up 4 at halftime, playing well, playing hard, got to do whatever it takes, even if that means, playing those guys, however many minutes they can handle. So, I would expect Wisconsin to come out, try to establish Hap down low, of course, again, and try to get the three-point shots that they're accustomed to. But if our defense continues to be as connected and as active as it's been, then we're going to continue to make life hard on them from deep, and that's a good thing. And if we can be disciplined on offense, force the issue, and not just settle for outside shots, obviously, I think we're going to have a good chance in this game. So a lot to be happy about there in the first half. Hope the guys come out in the second half ready to go and can extend this lead instead of Wisconsin coming right back out and evening it up. That would obviously be huge, for Indiana to maybe make it a 6-8 point game by the under 16-minute timeout instead of the other team coming out at the start of the second half, as we've seen too often. So, look, I'm excited. Great to see what Indiana was able to do there in the first half. And let's go close this out and end this losing streak with a big win over Wisconsin. Talk to you guys in the postgame show. It'll be me, Andy, Ryan, and we'll talk to you then.